Everyone. So, of course, the Denver Nuggets absolutely sold yesterday. We needed the Denver Nuggets to beat the Phoenix Suns, which would have put us only a game behind the Phoenix Suns, and it's just that much closer to getting into the A seed. And they sit Jamal Murray, but if it was the Lakers, for a fact Jamal Murray would have been playing. And it was like, Denver, you're at home. Just win. I don't care. Win by 1, win by 20. It doesn't matter. Just beat the Phoenix Suns. They just lost to the San Antonio Spurs without Victor Wembanyama. Now they're on the road against Denver. And it's like, come on, just do your job. You have something to play for. You're playing for the 1 seed. You're trying to hold on to the 1 seed. It's like, come on, do it. And nope, of course not. They end up fumbling the bag. And it's just, it's very sad. It's very infuriating. But nonetheless, the Lakers did their job. Lakers off of a back-to-back, a huge win against the Milwaukee Bucks, down 19, down like 16 in the fourth. It was looking very bleak. No LeBron James. You pull that win out. And this game just felt like, please don't be that trap game. Please don't be that setup game where you go out, you do what you're supposed to do against Milwaukee, you have the hard-fought win, and you come out and you just are flat. And the Lakers were great. They had the little hiccup, right? Up 27. I don't like them kind of letting them get back. At one point, they were able to get it to 7 briefly. Lakers immediately got it back double digits, and then they just basically never looked back after that. But I'm not going to get too much on them for that back-to-back game. It's just I don't like the bad habits, right? But one, that's also today's NBA, right? It's just like no lead is safe unless you're up like 50 or 60 is like the new 20, right? 10 years ago. Right now, you could be up 20, 30. I mean, you got teams like Boston losing 30-point leads. Milwaukee, again, lost a 19-point lead. It's just, you don't want to be that team now, it kind of feels like. But the Lakers weren't that team. They handled business. They did their job. LeBron James was fantastic, gave you a triple-double. He looked like how you thought. He was spry, he was good, he was ready to go, and it made the Lakers look brilliant. Like, because the big thing was like, if you lose to Milwaukee and then now you play LeBron and you win, it's like, yeah, but maybe you could have won the Milwaukee Bucks game. But the fact that you won the Milwaukee Bucks game with LeBron James getting rest, it is like, oh, that justifies why you do stuff like that. Why I've defended him. And with this win, what it's done is that the Lakers are 2.5 games ahead of the Warriors, which is good. Lakers are also 3.5 games ahead of the Houston Rockets. I know a lot of people have a little bit of concerns about Houston because Houston's on a 10-game winning streak, which is incredible. But it'd be very hard for Houston to catch the Lakers. The Lakers would essentially have to just completely just fall apart these last like 9 games or whatever. Like I just don't see that happening. Houston would basically have to win outright, and the Lakers would have to lose basically every game the rest of the way. I just don't see that necessarily happening. They're a game and a half behind the Sacramento Kings, 2 games back of the Phoenix Suns, which again, it sucks because if Suns would have lost, we would have been 1 game back of the Phoenix Suns, and we would have only been a half game or a full game back of the Sacramento Kings. We've been right there. 2.5 games back of the Dallas Mavericks for the 6th seed, and we are currently 3.5 games back behind the Pelicans, which is a lot of games, but maybe we catch a break later today with the Milwaukee Bucks getting the bounce back win against the Pelicans, right? So 6th seed is technically still in reach. It's going to be really tough. You're going to need a lot of dominoes to fall in order to get that, but it's possible. More likely than not, 7th or 8th seed. We're hoping on Sacramento and who I think will be the Phoenix Suns, because they still have a brutal, grueling schedule, and they're going to lose some games there. Can the Lakers just win enough? Right? It was also very impressive that we did this without Anthony Davis. Talk about it all the time, right? You can offset LeBron James. Right? Through committee, we're not better without LeBron, but for a game, 2 games, a little small stretch, especially in the regular season, you can kind of get by without LeBron for a game. You can survive. But Anthony Davis, we just don't have a way to offset that. We just don't have a way to make up for what Anthony Davis does. And look, Jackson Hayes, he was solid, right? 14 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 to 7 from the field, 1 block, 1 steal. the with Jackson Hayes, and this is something I've highlighted before, is like the more he plays, the more you see the inexperience, the lack of discipline, and the flaws. When he's in there for like 10 minutes and he's just giving you that energy burst, he looks fantastic, right? Goes in there, gives you 10 minutes, gives you like 8 points and 3, 4 rebounds, and you're just like, perfect. Right? But as soon as you need him for some significant minutes, and look, again, he held his own. He was solid. But you look at it and it's like, you see the costly turnovers, you see the foul trouble, you see the again, the lack of discipline on both sides of the ball at times, the lack of awareness, understanding where you're at, where you need to be. A lot of that is just, again, he's very young. He's a project big. When the Lakers signed him, I was excited for him because he was a project big. But hopefully he sticks around long term, because I do really like Jackson Hayes, and I do think he could be a real player in this league and on this team, even if it's just in a rotational big man backup role. Think that there's something really there with him. But again, for him to come in, play a role, I know a lot of people are really down on Harry Giles. It's a 5-minute sample size in which he hasn't played all season really for the Lakers. I know he's played in like garbage time, but like I've talked about it before, garbage time isn't organized basketball. Like, what do you expect to see from a guy in 5 minutes of play that hasn't really gotten an opportunity? I can't really judge him on that, right? Did he look great? No, but what does he look like 3 games, 4 games, 5 games in? I doubt we'll see that this year, but maybe next year if we keep him around. We'll see what happens with the draft and stuff and 2 ways and things like that. But he's a guy that I think, if given a real opportunity, could maybe be something and could maybe, again, be a quality, just rotational big for the Lakers, even if he's your third big man off the bench. But moving on, Austin Reaves. Again, the inconsistencies on the offensive side of things, which I've talked about heavily. A lot of people keep trying to tell me that it's not the case, but yeah, either we're watching different games or looking at different box scores or what. But offensively, he just has been very hot and cold all season. 0-4 from 3, 4-12 from the field, 13 points, 11 assists. But I got to give Austin Reaves some credit. He's been very good defensively these last few games. I really have been impressed from what I've seen. He's not elite, he's not great, but he's not getting torched every single possession like he was prior. Right? He's been staying in front of guys. He's been doing a good job. I thought he did an excellent job in the Milwaukee game. I praised him in the Milwaukee game. Thought he did a really good job in this Memphis game. Was there moments and stuff? Sure, absolutely. But for the most part, he was holding his own. He really was. He was out there. He was holding his own. He was doing a great job on both sides of the basketball, just making plays as well as defending. I've talked about it. The problem that I have with Reaves is like he's a complete liability on the defensive side. And when he has an offensive output like he did yesterday, he becomes unplayable. Because it's like you're not giving us anything on the offensive side and you're getting torched on the defensive side. But when he has a bad offensive night like he did last night, but he's making plays and he's actually holding his own on the defensive side, he becomes a positive. And he becomes really good for us. And he makes that impact. And he does have that occasional big shot, or he makes that play or that possession or whatever. Right? Like, that's the Austin Reaves I want to see. It's fine if you have a bad night offensively. I'm okay with that. Everyone has it. It happens. But you can't have a bad offensive night and be unplayable on the defensive side and turning the ball over and just, again, being unplayable out there. So if Austin Reaves can continue to find this, and we don't need him to be elite. Obviously, we'd love it, but just be serviceable. Just don't get beat every single possession is all I'm asking. That's it. You play this way, I absolutely loved it. I thought he did a fantastic job in that regard and deserves a ton of credit. But the man of the night, Rui Hachimura, just continues to be spectacular. 32 points in 36 minutes, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. He was also getting it done on both sides of the basketball. He had some great defensive sequences, even against like Triple J. I really liked what I saw from Rui on both sides of the floor this game. He was our biggest plus minus at plus 35, but 11 of 14 from the field, 7 of 8 from 3. And I felt like they should have went I think this was a 50-piece game for Rui Hachimura. If the Lakers would have really went through him on the offensive side, like I think that they should have, with him having such a hot hand, I think he goes and drops 50. Again, he was lights out. To me, I really wanted to see them kind of just build his confidence. Like, this is a game where you could have kept going to him. And he loves playing Memphis, man. Memphis is like his home. He just, every time he plays Memphis, he just dominates them. I just think it's a bad matchup for them or something, or he likes the arena or whatever. He's fantastic at Memphis. But this is a real game that I really would have liked to see the Lakers kind of go to him a little more, kind of make him more of a focal point on the offensive side, especially with him having it going. I understand, you got D'Lo. D'Lo was lights out as well. We'll touch on him here more in a minute. Spencer Dinwiddie was fantastic this game. I thought he did a really good job again on both sides of the basketball. He was aggressive. He was hitting shots. Like, Taurean Prince is another guy that I thought did a really good job this game. Again, hitting shots, not settling, playing both sides of the basketball. Again, really, really solid outing from just the team in general. But I would have liked to, again, kind of reward Rui a little bit. Reward him a little bit. Put him on the block. Let him get some action. Right? Call his number a little bit. Run your offense. Let him kind of be the leader. I know he led the team in points with 32 and he took 14 shots, but at least get him up to 20. Right? What does he look like with 6 more shots? Probably get you to at least 40. Right? Let him go get you a 40 piece. Right? Like, I just think that would really boost his confidence. And he's been just ridiculous lately. But again, I really like just the direction we're heading right now. If you were ever going to pick a time to build some momentum and go on a little bit of a streak here, this was the time to do it. D'Angelo Russell was fantastic this game. Really shot continues to fall. And that was a question, right? Like, what does this team look like? Are they still kind of in rhythm, in a stride, or is everyone kind of jello? And I thought that the Lakers were still in a rhythm, still hitting their stride. D'Lo was 7 of 16 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 23 points, 4 assists. Right? I'd like him and LeBron to kind of take care of the ball a little better, but D'Lo for the most part has been pretty good about taking care of the basketball. So I'm not going to get on him too much about it. We got 2 more games in the month of in the month of March. Can we win those 2 games? Can we go undefeated down the stretch in March? Win 7 straight games. Go into the month of April against the Raptors and the Wizards. Man, if we could go undefeated on the 6-game road trip, which is a real possibility, man, that would just be so huge, because then you got a 3-game homestand, 2 of which are back-to-back against the Cavs and the Timberwolves. I worry about those games. Right? The Warriors, I think the Lakers handle business. The Grizzlies, again, I think the Lakers handle business. And then the Pelicans, I think the Lakers handle business. So those last 3 games, I definitely think the Lakers close out strong, finish this season strong with those 3 wins. It's the Cavs and the Timberwolves games I have a little concern about. But if we could basically go 6-0 on this road trip, which we got the toughest team out of the way in the Milwaukee Bucks, you go 6-0 on this road trip, right? I'm not saying that I want to lose those 2 games against the Cavs and the Timberwolves, but you can got a little wiggle room now at this point, right? Ideally, win outright the rest of the way, but that's just really hard to do. However, if they could match Houston and go on a 10-game win streak, that would take them basically into the Timberwolves game. Right? Say they take the L to the Timberwolves, you win your last 3 games, and all of a sudden you go 13-1 in your last 14 games. That'd be A1. I think at that point we're 7th, 8th seed, maybe even potentially in the 6th seed. But time will tell. Still got a long road ahead. I'm excited. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What did you think? How do you feel about the Lakers? You think they're in a groove right now? Whatever your thoughts are, however you feel, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.